Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
Emmy Banshee. And we're sorry. Oh, no, Mr. O.
It's time.
Where's Bly?
Ooh, he's right around the other side of the
around the
bookcase.
corner.
Oh, I can get him for you if you
I'll
don't.
go get him. Well, anyway, it's time for our Unhappy Hour show. While I go get Bly, Mr. O will talk about the Unhappy Hour with you.
So the Unhappy Hour is our special astrological program once a month when the moon goes into its fourth quarter, the final phase. And of course, we believe that that coincides with things that maybe are adversarial or complicated and you need to be aware of and maybe figure out what you can do to deal with that.
So basically, you're unhappy about something, and we want to turn that frown upside down, don't we?
We do.
We do. And guess what? We also want to help the world out, too, if we can.
Right. The reading is for the 4 elemental signs of the Zodiac, but at the very end, we throw in one just for the world at large, kind of a collective check-in with the world. It's not meant to provide everything or even necessarily the most important thing that's bumming the world, but it may point out something that is something most of us can relate to and maybe want to deal with.
All right, on with the show?
On with the show. So we're going to start with the air signs. And those are
Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. I was going to say Sagittarius. That slapped me now. All right. I'm just going to shuffle one more and hand them to Mr. O, who will shuffle and cut for us. Here you go, Mr. O. Come back here, Bly. Bly will be here for the world portion, mostly, of the show, because that's the scariest one. That's the one where we need more help.
If you haven't subscribed to us, please subscribe, and also be aware that we have another astrological monthly reading that we do called the Monthly Modality Message, and that's on usually when the sun moves into the next sign of the Zodiac.
Right. So, Monthly Modality Message. Excuse me, need a cough drop.
All right. So as I said, the first reading is for the air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And there are several questions. Our first card is the question, what is or will be making the air signs unhappy right now?
And remember, this reading is good for about the next 3 to 4 weeks till the moon changes to fourth quarter once more.
And all cards are read reversed.
So, interestingly enough, we have the card for Sagittarians, which I had almost erroneously ascribed to the air signs, and it's Temperance reversed. Temperance is reversed, of course, because they're all reversed. And, so what's making you unhappy is the sense that things aren't in balance. Whether it's a sense that something's out of balance in your physical body, your body, mind, spirit, or, your work-life balance is out of balance, your relationships are not being quite harmonious and in sync, which isn't surprising in a way since it's still Mercury retrograde.
Are you overreacting to people, or are people overreacting to you? This could be a sense of the temperament actually being out of whack too, and that we're hot under the collar, we're quick to react, or possibly even the opposite.
It could also mean, air signs, that you are feeling like the people that you are working with or collaborating with, or maybe even are in your friends and family, you're not syncing anymore. Just things seem to be out of sync and out of balance in your relationships with others.
Once again, it behooves us to say that some of this could be because of the Mercury retrograde. All right, card 2. How will the air signs deal with this, or will be dealing with it?
Okay. Well, it's the 5 of Wands reversed. It could be that, you're just trying to back away from, the situations for a while. Maybe you're trying to give yourself some space in order to think things through and, try to find ways, to bridge the divide between you and others, or to find a way to pull yourself back into balance if that's what's going on.
I think that the stepping away part could be about the feeling that you're not collaborating well with people where you normally might, or this could be saying that maybe you're going to let other people take the lead in certain areas just because you think that might help the situation.
Yeah, and it's clear here that either you're trying to avoid or mitigate, some divides between you and others, or some inner outer conflict within yourself.
So then, are the air signs' feelings justified?
The air signs, yep. Ooh, ouch. It's the Five of Swords reversed.
Uh-oh.
Wow. Well, I mean, you might be going a little over the top here, air signs. How bad is this really? Mr. O brought up earlier in the reading that you might be blowing things a little bit out of proportion or getting overly angry, or maybe perhaps others are. So maybe you feel your feelings are justified, but are they? Because it just seems to me that maybe it's because you feel this is a situation you can't win.
Your feelings may be justified to you, but they may not be justified in the overall sense of where things could go. This could be saying this is a situation you would better walk away from, but you may be too personally involved in it, and you may be misreading your feelings about whether, you're righteous or not here.
Well, and if it's a workplace situation, it may not be that easy for you to just move on.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So ultimately, how will we, air signs, turn that frown upside down?
It's the Seven of Cups reversed. So you will turn that feeling upside down by being more, by making a choice, making a decision one way or another. You can't just lay here in limbo or with things feeling chaotic or out of balance. You have to move one way or you have to move the other way. And, you need to really, excuse me, consider your options wisely and make sure that, they're doable or workable.
If you're able to realize what the Mercury retrograde is affecting in your life, what portion of your life it's affecting, this may help you understand what that card is about, the things that you should focus on, or possibly the opposite, not focus on and just continue to move away from. But ultimately, you have to make a decision. It's kind of like do that or get off the pot.
Okay, I don't think we need to recap this. I would just say this could really be something that's coming up, burbling up in any number of areas of your life right now, whether it's your interactions with others, whether it's your own inner outer world balance, or if it has to do with work, relationships of other types.
Alrighty.
Good luck with that.
So we are now on to the fire signs.
Fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. There you go, Sagittarius.
There you go. We finally fit you in.
In the right spot, where you belong. Fiery folk. And when you see this reading, the moon will be in the sign of Aries, a fire sign. And as a matter of fact, I think today may be the day that Neptune is moving into Aries, I think. I'm not sure.
Your turn.
Or going retrograde? I'm not sure.
I think you had a Neptune going retrograde. I don't remember.
That's what I think, too. It's in Aries, yeah.
Yes, July sounds like good times for many of us.
Sigh. It hasn't been going well here in the household. I mean, insofar as different weird things happening, not pleasant ones. Your turn, or?
You cut. I already shuffled.
All right, fire signs, what's making you unhappy? Or will be? Well, it's the Queen of Pentacles reversed. The Queen of Pentacles. Well, it could be a couple of things. One big one that stands out is your financial conditions right now. Are you comfortable where you're at? Are you feeling safe and secure right now? It looks like not. You know, some of us may not be. And maybe, you know, you haven't been paying attention to things and money has been slipping through your fingers. The other part of this could be that maybe you just feel worn out. Maybe you've been giving a lot of support out to others or being there when they need you, and you haven't given enough time to your own needs and stuff.
I like what you said there. Those things are very valid, but this could also be maybe the case where you sort of have internalized the feeling that no one cares about you, or not that much. Or maybe you're internalizing the feeling that something you once cared for, you no longer care for as much, possibly. Or you're transposing where affections go. Maybe you're changing in relationship status or things like that, and this is a consideration.
Okay.
All right, card 2. How are we dealing or will be dealing with this unhappiness, fire signs?
Well, it's the Ace of Swords reversed. We can't seem to focus on coming up with, solutions and ideas to turn the situation around, and it's frustrating. You feel like you might be mentally blocked. You may feel like, and in these cases, what you should be doing instead of ruminating over things and just going in circles is getting maybe some outside advice in the matter, particularly if it relates to your financial concerns or your business concerns. And so I think here you've got to consider ways to turn that around. I think you're feeling, kind of counterproductive right now, in that you should realize that sometimes we don't have all the answers or what we need, and we have to go elsewhere to find it.
Sometimes the Ace of Swords talks about our projection of energy, and so being reversed, this may be saying that you're feeling like either pulling back any other energies, or you're feeling like that's your plan to go, is just to kind of fade back a little bit and not be as forceful. This may help you in the short run, but it may not necessarily help you with other things. If you've been working towards some sort of bigger accomplishment, you may be backpedaling from that.
Do you feel as though sometimes I get this idea here that maybe you're sabotaging yourself here? With this Ace of Swords reversed, it should be a victorious new beginning for you, but it seems to me when it's upright, and it seems to me when it's reversed, maybe you're sabotaging that from happening. You keep doing things that kind of dig yourself in deeper.
The misdirection of your energy or will.
Mm-hmm.
All right, card 3. Why are the fire signs' feelings justified?
Well, we got another sword card. It's the Ten of Swords reversed, of course, in this position. So why are your feelings justified? Well, I'm going to let you go first on this one.
All right. Well, it may be that within this matter, you may feel like you're going to ultimately get better, that things will reverse, and that, whatever was evil against you will finally, be conquered by you. So maybe you feel that either things are going to come to you that will flip the script, or if you wait long enough, the script is flipped on its own.
Your feelings are justified here because maybe you've started to realize that you are sabotaging yourself.
Ooh.
I kind of wonder here, sometimes this is about outside forces. Often we feel we are at the mercy of outside forces. And hey, things do happen sometimes, but it's how we rise up from them that counts. And I feel here that maybe you felt, that you sabotaged yourself in that regard. And it is time for yourself to pick yourself up and start moving in a better direction.
All right. So, card 4, how do we turn that frown upside down?
Well, fire signs.
And it's the reversed Five of Pentacles.
Well, that's how you turn it upside down, all right, with that great upside down card. You recover. You pick yourself up and you recover. It's noteworthy to me that we started with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and then we've got the Five of Pentacles at the end reversed, which indicates these negative conditions that we were talking about here, you can recover from. You can recover from. Seek help if you need it. Seek outside assistance if you need it, or advice, and pick yourself up and move forward. Those last two cards are indicating that.
I love that, because to me that card says you're finding your peeps. You're finding the people that can help you, or you're finding the situations, energies, resources, etc. that will help you. Or you're finding where you feel comfortable enough to begin processing this and ultimately making it all better.
That's true too, Mr. O. Good luck with that.
Alrighty, so that was the fire signs. We're now going to move on to the
water signs.
The very watery signs of Cancer,
Scorpio,
and Pisces.
And Pisces. All right, let's see what's going on in your worlds.
Did Sassy stay in here?
I think she's gone. I didn't see her leave, though, but I think she...
Yeah, I didn't notice her.
She was behind me, and she's gone.
One of our kitties was hanging out for a little bit.
Oh, she's right in the doorway. In her very frumpy mode. You know what I mean by that, right?
Oh, I think the heat bothers her more than the other two, perhaps.
She's sitting there splayed and licking her stomach. Or lower part of her.
All right, here we go. Water signs.
And she kind of gave me a look, Sassy, as like, what are you looking at?
All right, once again, what is or will be making the water signs unhappy right now?
Well, it's justice reversed. That could make anyone unhappy. For sure. You know, justice reversed indicates that you feel like you've been treated in some situation or circumstance very unfairly by others, or you may even say the universe, who knows. And, you know, you want justice in some situation, but it seems as though it's weighed against you.
I like this because, of course, it fits right into the idea of Mercury retrograde.
Mm-hmm.
You are feeling an unfairness, and of course this could be because of the Mercury retrograde, a decision that you thought was going to go in your favor did not.
Right.
Maybe it was meant to, maybe it wasn't meant, but the result is you feel that sense of unfairness. You feel sad and unfairness. So card 2, how will you be dealing with this unhappiness?
Well, typical water signs, no, or Scorpios, 10 of Wands reversed. So I think here you'll just be trying to put the burdens on somebody else's shoulders.
Well, it's definitely about release. You definitely need to release things, whether you're releasing them to somebody who will help you grudgingly or otherwise. He looks at her.
I think here that, right, exactly. I think here that, you know, this is something that you wish, this is a burden you really wish you didn't have to carry. And so I feel here that maybe you are looking for support right now. That's how you're dealing with it. Perhaps this is a legal case of some sort. And, you know, you are looking for people who can corroborate or witness on your side of things.
Not every single water sign may be going through this at exactly the same level, but the unfairness that you may be feeling or that's bumming you out could very possibly revolve around the fact that things shifted in a way that didn't work for you, and so you will be trying to shift them back or shift them somewhere else.
I like the fact that this came up here because I feel that, you know, it shows at least water signs that you are constructively trying to, you know, fight for your rights in whatever the case may be.
Very good. So card 3, are the water signs' feelings justified?
Well, it's the Princess of Wands reversed. Yes, I think it's because you've gotten some bad news that's precipitated this. Maybe perhaps you didn't get the job or the promotion you thought you deserved, and so you want answers. Maybe it's also this idea, too, that you got a summons to court or something like that. Maybe somebody is unfairly suing you or taking some conflict you've had to court.
There is a possibility that this could escalate and that this may justify your feelings. That's what the bad messaging of the reverse Princess of Wands indicates.
You're right.
But it could also say, too, that news you were expecting to hear, maybe that was better, came through and it was not better. All of these things are making you feel like the universe is against you, you know, the unfairness and the inability to work it out right now.
Right. I mean, it may just mean, too, that really you're starting to realize here, your feelings are justified and you realize this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning of something, and you're going to have to spend time seeing this through.
As a water sign, be aware of this because you could have the tendency to get emotionally overwhelmed with it.
Wow. So
how do we turn that frown
frown upside down? Judgment is reversed.
By being unfair back.
Spoken like a true Scorpio.
Hey, this is my reading.
So, oh my goodness. Well, I do think sometimes there's a little bit of fight fire with fire here, but it might also say that, you know, karma has a way of working itself out. And I know that this is reversed, and I would say this. So if you've got this coming to you, then you're going to have to pay. But if you don't have it coming to you, I feel here that, you know, the wheels, one way or another, have a way of righting themselves. Even if you do not win this case, you may in some other way get some satisfaction or win this war.
It's also possible, and of course we have to remember, you know, sometimes I do this, I know she tells me, justice is not the same as judgment.
Right.
So with judgment reversed, the way you may turn this upside down is by realizing that this was not as groundbreaking or life-altering or changing as it might have seemed. This was not an epiphany of any sort, that maybe it can be handled a little bit delicately, but with better results without feeling like the world has changed.
Yeah, you know, judgment reversed too is about change resisting in a way. And so maybe what this is saying too is one way to turn this around is see if common ground can't be achieved somehow.
Very good.
So good luck with that.
So that was our water signs. And we'll move on to the earth signs. Earth signs are Taurus,
Virgo and Capricorn. You'd like to do that one? Oh, yeah, you do. Here you go.
Well, you inspired me, because you always do that.
You're right. Well, Capricorn. I don't know why I do that with Scorpio and Capricorn. Maybe because you're a Scorpio and our son's a Capricorn. Scorpio. Capricorn. It's my story anyway.
All right, for our final elemental sign, what is or will be making the earth signs unhappy?
You got the Five of Swords, earth signs. Reversed, of course.
It's something that you can't win. Something that you realize will hurt you more if you stay there, and that your only option really is to get away from it.
Right. You know, whether it's a conflict, whether it's a job that you can't finish, whether it's a competition that you can't win. Whatever the case may be, you're fighting a battle right now, and you're realizing that it may be something that you have to walk away from, and it's not making you very happy.
So how will you deal with this, or how will you want to be dealing with it?
Oh boy, not very well, Earth signs. It's the Magician reversed.
Oh, you're going to go on the nut.
No, but I mean here, you may try to do some rather unethical or underhanded things to manipulate the situation and try to achieve a victory. Gee, what comes to mind here? What comes to mind here? Oh, FIFA and what just happened with the U.S. team. And see what ended up happening anyway through, regardless of somebody's evil machinations, the team lost and they're out of the tournament anyway. I don't think I need to mention any names here. So you get the idea. Don't do anything that's going to put your reputation, in the crapper, okay?
This card means that Earth signs will be trying to manipulate things. Earth signs will be trying to use their willpower where it probably cannot be used, or it will only make it worse or just totally ineffectual. This could take the form of things like what we're talking about here, arguing with referees or arguing with people who have much more information. It's really almost in its own way very similar to this, just saying it's time to give it up. You don't have the magic.
And it's funny because, it's kind of like ties right into this you can't win thing. And the FIFA thing, the same thing. You try to get around the rules, you can't win it anyway. So, karma can be that way. And also, how you use your will is really a reflection on you, like I said. And you really got to be careful of that. If you're using your will all the time to force people to do things rather than to will yourself into the position that you want, well, you get what you give.
So card 3, are your feelings justified, Earth signs?
Well, it's the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is reversed. In a way, your feelings are justified here, I would say. Because I think you might be starting to realize this here. Again, this seems like a positive card to me in that with the Five of Swords indicating you can't win this battle, you're going to come to the realization sometime in this next 4-week period that you need to release yourself from this, release its hold on you and let it go. You're stronger than this. You are better than stooping to this level to try to achieve what you want. There are other hills to climb.
There's another element here that maybe indicates that deep inside yourself you thought it was going to work out and you were holding on to that, but it was an illusion or a deception that you were buying into from your own mind in a sense, or maybe some other stimuli, and your feelings are justified that you just need to move away. Once again, it's
right.
Get away.
It's almost like it's saying here that, well, your feelings are justified. You need to use this energy, find your will, your strength, know your strength, and how to apply it constructively.
Card 4, how will you, Earth signs, turn that frown upside down? Or will you?
It's the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Well,
the Wheel of Fortune does turn things upside down, but does it turn frowns upside down?
Right. I think what this is saying is that how you turn the frown upside down is facing the fact that fate or whatever is working against you in this situation. You can't win it, and therefore you need to ride this wheel, whether the wheel is at the top or whether the wheel is at the bottom, like it is here. You have to ride through this and come out of it with a sense of dignity, and not try to fight battles you can't win or force your will upon others.
It may be possible that Earth signs are getting a heavier treatment, and maybe it's because of the way Mercury retrograde or other planetary influences are hitting on their charts right now. But this really does feel like there's not a lot of good in pursuing the same course. It would be better to recoup what you can and move on to something else. The Wheel of Fortune always ends up righting itself. This one could take a little bit longer than you might expect.
Oh boy, good luck with that, Earth signs. Well, guess what we have moved to?
So now the happiest part of the program. Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
It's where we do this for the world. And as I mentioned, this is not meant to say this is the most important thing. I can do it first. That's bothering or bumming the world now, but it may be something significantly felt by enough people to where it's palpable in a way, and it maybe affects perceptions of people in many countries.
Bly.
Only Bly can save us now.
Just remember, Bly always says the future looks bright.
I don't know. Your turn to shuffle.
Hold Bly.
I will. Oh, I'm sorry.
Bly is our official emotional support
Thing. Squiggy? Is that what they're called?
Squishmallows.
Squishmallows.
Right? And I tend to squish it a lot. All right. Give me Bly. You go, Mr. O.
All right, I will.
What is making the world unhappy right now?
It's the High Priestess reversed.
Ooh.
So the High Priestess reversed is probably saying the world is unhappy because nothing seems to be predictable. Nothing seems to make sense intuitively or otherwise. Things seem to be shadowy and unforeseen. Maybe there are just too many things going on right now for the world collectively
And Mercury?
And Mercury to really focus right now or to see what it needs to see.
Everything looks cloudy, and unclear and uncertain. And it can rattle especially the most sensitive of us. And the other factor about this is that I feel could be making the world unhappy is the fact that it seems that our leaders are not tapping into their higher wisdom and potential. They're letting a more dark side surface, and it's affecting us all.
Card 2.
Yeah.
How is the world dealing or will be dealing with this unhappiness?
Oh, be careful with my cards.
It's the devil reversed.
We want to release ourselves from the stranglehold of leaders who don't seem to have their or our best interests at heart. Oh, sure, some of them might be making money hand over foot, but the deal is, I like it in the middle, I'm sorry. I see why you're doing it though, because of that screen. The deal is that we want to release ourselves from this hold they have on us. A lot of us do. We're trying to figure out constructive ways to do it. Like, for example, through the process of voting in the United States, other countries are holding massive protests like what's going on in Albania over things that they reject in their country. And so that's what I see with the devil.
I think people in the world are trying to move away from a sense of dependency that maybe they had on other materialism and dependency. And so the idea is trying to break the links that overdo us, make us overly dependent or make us overly what's the word I'm looking for? Deferring to authority. So when the devil comes up, it sort of is a challenge to where authority lies. It may be saying this is time really to try to loosen those chains and get away from that.
All right, so what's next?
Card 3. Why is the world's feelings justified? And it's the Knight or Prince of Cups.
Because we keep hearing dismal news all the time. There's so much, and some people say, well, they just don't report the good. Okay. But I mean, when you have natural disasters going on, like the earthquake in Venezuela, and they were having problems digging people out of the rubble. You have all the fires everywhere, a lot of weather events that are out of control, not to mention the shenanigans that our leaders are doing, we just feel like we're bereft with bad news almost every day, hearing it every day.
Well, the Prince is also the Knight of Cups more traditionally. So reversed, it's still about movement, but maybe it's the movement that says we want to kind of move ourselves away from some of this unhappiness here. The Prince of Cups.
I like that too. You're right. I was kind of reading it as the
I thought
page.
your reading still worked for it.
It still
overall.
does, yeah. It still does.
So really, your feelings are justified because you realize you do need to get away from this somehow, or you do need to, what's the word I'm looking for? Just to rebalance in a way the sense of emotions that maybe are drifting fast and furious.
I think what it's saying here is we all realize that our feelings are justified, and that's what's making us sad. Is like, yeah, there's nothing to be happy about right now, and we need to move that energy to the idea that, we do create our own realities, and we have the ability to move this energy and turn the situation around.
All right, finally, how will we, the world, turn our frown upside down? And it's the Four of Swords reverse. And I think it means we have to heal and recover, however long it may take, but there's not a lot of time. But we have to get back in the game. We have to reactivate. Maybe we have healing or other recovery work to do for others.
So we start, in a sense, with confusion and being in a cloud of uncertainty and maybe unable to find a way forward, even though we know we need to break free from this somehow. Now's the time we really need to put our energy into doing so. We need to figure out what we need. We need to start challenging authorities that aren't listening to us. We need to start doing things more collectively that will turn this around. We need to put our energy, period, into collective actions.
In a metaphoric way, I suppose I would like to leave it with this. My statement is that how do we turn the frown upside down? By realizing that, I lost my thought. But basically it's reversing the negativity and finding a way to rebirth ourselves, because that's also sort of emblematic of that card.
Right.
Coming back to life, coming back to the game.
Coming back from the dead.
And unless we can do that, we won't be able to turn that frown upside down, perhaps. It'll be hard.
So good luck with that, world. So that's our show for this fourth quarter moon phase, and we'll be back again at the next fourth quarter moon for another reading, see what's bugging us then and what's bugging the world. And until that time, hey, try to stay happy and try to take some advice here and turn those frowns upside down. We'll see you next time.